Yo, what's good, YouTube? Hey, man, we back at it again with another YouTube reaction video. You feel me? Hey, top 10 banned toys the government prohibited for you and anybody else in the world to own, bro. This is like a little interesting one because you feel me? I'm probably gonna drop this today. I tried to drop a video yesterday, it got copyrighted. It been, you know how life be. You feel me? But I'm gonna drop this on the 21st. Y'all enjoy this. Enough said, enough talk. Hope y'all like the intro, man. Get straight into it.
So with Christmas on the horizon, memories of begging my folks for toys I'd seen in the countless commercials on Saturday mornings have been flooding my mind, so it seems like the perfect time to bring up some of history's worst toy disasters. Did you ever have any of these toys on the list as a kid? I'm your host James, and these are the top 10 banned toys the government prohibited for your own protection. We're going to start things off with dragonflies and sky dancers. These were basically the same toys, just one was marketed at boys and one was marketed at girls, because boys like action and girls like fancy pretty stuff. Toy company Galoob released these things in 1994, and they were pretty popular throughout the 90s. Basically, you had a doll or action figure on wings. Very important to differentiate between the two, especially in the 90s. I don't play with dolls. This is an action figure. Anyway, the action figure slash doll would attach to the base with a pull string, and when you pulled the string, the figure would release from the base and spin up into the air with the wings. I have vague memories of these things. I had a dragonfly for like maybe 3 days when I was really little, but I pulled the string to let it fly off one day and it went straight into the lake. I was pretty bummed, but losing the toy was the least of parents' worries. Reports started flying in about these things, causing some injuries, mainly flying into people's eyes, and eventually in June of 2000, the product was recalled. If you are enjoying our channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We got videos coming at you on the daily, so don't miss anything. Number 9. The CSI Fingerprint Examination Kit. So in 2007, an official CBS licensed CSI product was released to market, a fingerprint examination toy kit. He learned to dust for prints, or at least get excited about the process. Kind of strange that there was a CSI toy marketed at youngsters, but you know, nothing wrong with getting the youth interested in crime scene investigation, right? Unless your product, you know, had asbestos in the powder or something wild like that. Turns out it did though. Yes, the toy's fingerprint dusting powder contained tremolite asbestos, a highly lethal form of asbestos. Thankfully, this was caught relatively quickly, and in 2008, the Asbestos Disease Awareness Organization recalled the product. Number 8. Clackers. So clackers were popular in the 70s. They were just two plastic balls attached by a string. Then you'd, I guess, move your hand up and down, and the balls would clack together. Sounds like a pretty sad time. Turns out clacking two balls on a string isn't just sad because it is, it's also sad because sometimes the force of the two balls clacking together would cause the plastic to shatter, and shards of plastic would explode into the air, flying into eyes, lodging into faces. Obviously not ideal, and clackers were taken off the market in the US and Canada. They made a comeback in the 90s though, constructed with modern plastics, but I think it's just a little too late. Kids had kind of moved on to bigger and better things by then, like the next toy on this list. Next up, we have Cabbage Patch Snack Time Kids. Back in 1996, Mattel released a line of Cabbage Patch Kids dolls with a seemingly innocent gimmick. The dolls' mouths were fitted with a mechanism which allowed them to eat plastic snacks. There were a pair of one-way smooth metal rollers behind plastic lips that would kind of simulate an eating type motion. Then you'd insert like little plastic french fries or candy into their mouths that would pass through the doll and into a plastic backpack on their backs. You could probably imagine where things went wrong here. Youngsters, they like to stick their fingers in places where they don't belong. I remember my cousin once touched the electric burner on the stove because it was all bright and glowy. It was a dumb thing to do, even for his age. We were the same age, and I was like, why the hell would you do that? But youngsters, they do crazy things. So tons of complaints started coming in about fingers and hair and other things attached to the human body getting caught in these dolls' mouths. Apparently one mom even had to call 911 to get her daughter's hair dislodged from one of these dead-eyed snack time dolls' mouths. And at number 6, we have lawn darts. This once popular outdoor game turned into a perilous pursuit that prompted the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission, or the CPSC, to take decisive action. It turns out that sharp metal darts being hurled across people's backyards caused a few injuries. You weren't meant to throw them at your parents or younger sibling or your cat or any living thing, really, but rascals will be rascals, right? And that's exactly what they did. A lot of Bart Simpsons running around back in the day. A lot of folks ended up with a dart in the body, and this forced the CPSC to impose a ban on the product in 1970. Initially, a compromise was struck, though, to allow the product to continue being sold. It just couldn't be marketed as a toy, but the repercussions continued. In the years that followed, an alarming 6,000 or more individuals found themselves hospitalized due to lawn dart related injuries during the 70s and 80s. So finally in 1988, the CPSC banned the things entirely. On our number 5 spot, we have Kinder Eggs. Now, these are still available in some places. We have them here in Canada, but they are banned in the United States. There's a similar product called Kinder Joy, I believe, over there that you guys have. But the classic Kinder Egg with the plastic bulb at the center with a toy inside is not allowed, and that's because they were deemed a choking hazard. Kinder Surprise eggs are banned in the US because of safety concerns related to having a non-nutritive object like a plastic capsule inside a confectionery product. So these things are totally illegal across the border. I'm very glad they haven't been banned here, though. I love a Kinder Egg. I scarfed them down constantly as a kid. The chocolate is delicious. You know what? I still like them. Who doesn't like a surprise and a delicious chocolate egg? And at number 4, we have Atomic Lab Kits. Atomic Lab Kits were science toys released by the A.C. Gilbert Company in 1950. Little chemistry sets that promised to turn your living room into a mini science lab. It sounded pretty cool, till you realized these so-called toys were a little too realistically atomic. These kits often came with chemicals that, in today's terms, would give any safety expert a heart attack. Things like uranium dust, which is no joke. It's radioactive. Imagine handing that stuff to a curious mind without proper supervision. Not a great idea, but that's what was going on. Back in the day, people weren't as clued in about the potential hazards, so these kits were a popular gift. But as time went on and we got smarter about safety, it became clear the Atomic Lab Kits were a recipe for disaster. Next up, we have the banned Al Snow action figure. This is gotta be one of the most insanely stupid toy-related bannings I've ever heard of. So if you don't know who Al Snow is, he was a pro wrestler who was especially popular in the late 90s at the height of the Attitude Era in the WWE, or at the time WWF. Way cooler title. At one point, Al Snow had this gimmick where he carried around a mannequin head. It became a staple of his character. He didn't go anywhere without it. So naturally, his action figure needed to have the head as an accessory, but walking through the aisles of Walmart in 1999 and picking this action figure off the shelf without having watched Monday Night Raw on TV, you might have thought that the head the action figure was packaged with was meant to be a woman's severed head and not a mannequin head. Well, parents complained and the figure was pulled from the shelves. I would have never been able to fathom a complaint like that being taken seriously enough for a product to be removed from shelves altogether, but people never cease to baffle and disappoint. This next product, though, I completely understand being recalled. Kite tubes. Released in 2005, these were inflatable, towable devices resembling oversized flying discs that you would tow behind boats. They'd catch air, kind of like a kite, lifting riders high above the water's surface. As you can probably imagine, there were some incidents. The CPSC recognized the severe risks posed by the unpredictable and uncontrollable nature of kite tubes, as riders soared to significant altitudes and then just plummeted right back down abruptly. Riders really had no control over these things. This led to a series of accidents with injuries ranging from bruises to punctured lungs, broken bones, death. I think there was a couple deaths. Really not shocking how dangerous these things turned out to be. People would like fly up over 30 feet in the air while hurling through the water at high speed. By July of 2006, 84 injuries had been reported. This included 3 deaths. There were deaths, there you go. And they all happened in just 3 months. So kite tubes were only on the market for about a year tops before being banned entirely. And that was for the best. Finally, though, at number 1, we have Rollerblade Barbie. Rollerblade Barbie was the hot new toy of 1992, not only because it was super popular, but it was also responsible for literally starting fires. Mattel released Rollerblade Barbie to considerable success. First, it sold well. Barbie was fitted with roller skates that would flash when you rolled it across a flat surface. There were 2 elements at play to make this gimmick work. One was the LED lights inside of the skates. Those were harmless. The harmful part came from the sparks that would shoot out of them. Definitely added a cool visual effect to the doll, but the problem is sparks and flammable objects really don't mix. Something that the toy manufacturers, oddly enough, didn't take into account. Apparently some fire-like hazards were ignited as a result of this. I don't think anyone's house burnt down or anything, but it was enough to cause a concern and the toys were recalled. Although not very successfully, as these things are pretty easy to get your hands on to this day. So maybe throw one on your Christmas list and see if you can start a fire in your home. Don't actually do that. With all that said, I've been your host, James, and I'll catch you, yes, you specifically, in the next video.
Hey man, hope y'all enjoyed another reaction video, man. Another day, another dollar, holidays. Hope y'all keep grinding, stay lifted up, and I'll see ya on the next video, man. Peace out.